Blue Banana presents The Silent Ones, written by Linda Coles and read by Aoife Mcmahon. Prologue. Matthew loaded groceries into the back of the small Fiesta as Blue watched on, chattering and pointing at other shoppers as they walked past with their own trolleys laden with bags. A cold breeze had him pulling his collar up against it. Summer pretty much over now, the skinny fingers of autumn caressing his neck as he loaded the final bag. A fat raindrop hit the car roof, closely followed by another. He looked up at the gathering clouds with disapproval. "Right, let's get you strapped in," he said to the child, who had no qualms about leaving his plastic trolley seat. In fact, he was glad to be out of the wind. Not that he could share his feelings at 12 months old. When Matthew was satisfied the boy was secure, he strapped himself in the driver's seat and set off towards home as the rain began in earnest. The roads were busy. Saturday morning shopping was the worst time in his opinion, but like many families, it was their best chance of getting provisions. There was always too much going on during the week, and shopping on a Sunday was even worse. Plus, by the time he got back, she'd be at the gym, and that meant he and Blue could have the place to themselves. It was Matthew's favourite time of the week, when she was out, and he didn't have to talk to her. He could sit with a mug of hot coffee and the paper while a jam sandwich and Hey Doggy entertained Blue for a while. The house would be calmer, more relaxed, at least for a couple of hours. The occasional outburst of a child's delight a welcome sound. He hadn't realised just how much he'd loved the boy until he'd arrived. They weren't far from home as Matthew turned into Low Lee Road, the nearest to a quiet country lane you could find in the town of Marple, just outside Manchester. As he flipped his wipers from intermittent to constant, he sensed the car behind them before he saw it in his rearview mirror. They were driving far too close for his liking and had come out of nowhere, and they didn't appear to want to pass, even though there was opportunity to do so. He flicked several looks at the mirror, watching, but the silvery wet brightness cast an awkward glare on the windscreen behind, so he couldn't see who was at the wheel, a man or a woman. Not that it mattered. He couldn't do anything about it except hope they passed him soon. He knew there was another open stretch around the next corner, the road coming out from the trees. Perhaps they'd take the opportunity and pass then. As he drove into the bend, he resisted accelerating out of it and kept his speed deliberately low to give them more of a chance. The vehicles stayed close behind.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?